Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live at 5. It's Wednesday, April 18th, a two-show day. I'm Beth Stevens.
I'm Paul Wontorek.
We're here with content producer Matt Roden.
That's me. Hi, everybody.
And a fabulous guest.
Mr. Bobby Creighton, Robert Creighton. Robert Creighton from FROZEN.
We love this man. But first, we have some news. We have a top 5.
All right, so we got Drama League nominations this morning, Paul.
Yes, we did, Matt Roden. I love when you say my name.
Like to toss it to
yes,
you, you know
so
what I mean?
This means that, what does this mean?
It means
so
that a million people were nominated, but some were surprising.
Right. But I don't know how to identify what's
but
surprising.
Yes, you can.
It's different than a lot of
So
other...
there's one acting award
Right.
and 198 nominees.
Correct.
Or 70 or so. But then also, so we knew before that Idina Menzel was getting a special award,
she'll be there,
Distinguished Achievement
I
in Musical
assume.
Theater, or the, I think it's called the Idina, Please Come to Our Ceremony Award.
Very popular award.
Casey Nick, of course she's coming back off Broadway.
That's right.
What's that
Skin
called?
Tight by Joshua Harmon.
Skin Tight. Casey Nicola will be honored with the Founders Award, and the National Endowment of the Arts will receive the Unique Contribution to Theater Award. That unique contribution being money.
Lots of money. Lots of money.
That's right.
The full nominee list is on the site. This is happening on May 18th at 11:30 a.m.
And it lasts until May 19th.
It's
It's
long
very
thing.
long.
But there's also like outstanding production categories, outstanding revivals. It's just we're not going to list all these people.
And shows. Because it takes too long.
Takes far
We've
too
got
long.
other stuff to do.
We got... You know, it's funny. We were talking about this morning in the meeting, but we walked out of the meeting and we had Tony hosts.
We have Tony.
That was
hosts.
a great memory, behind the scenes memory.
But it's true, you
And
know.
I remember. I
10
actually think I
a.m.
said in the meeting.
I think-
they're not going to announce hosts
You
yet.
said they're going to do it after
and then they
nominations.
made them announce it.
So, the hosts.
Who's hosting?
There are two this year. Josh Groban, who is the star of the year for Broadway.com, and Sarah Bareilles.
2016.
Some year. I was going to say the year. And Sarah Bareilles. So they are hosting together. And we haven't had that many double hosts recently.
Last one was Chenoweth and Cumming.
Chenoweth
And then
Cumming.
in Chenoweth's concert, she said that they got paid like $2,000 each. Is that real?
What?
Wow,
Is
you're
that
all
actually
about
the
the-
payment on a Tony host? They weren't kidding. Like
But
it
you
was.
can
They
get
were both
an
like,
Emmy
yeah, that's what we got.
nomination.
It's a lot of work.
But it's got to be SAG, right?
You know
It's got to
what?
be
I
minimum.
don't think Sarah Bareilles and Josh
That's below
Groban.
equity minimum.
Yeah, it's definitely below.
Anyway.
I don't think, this is just my own opinion, I don't think Josh Groban and Sarah Bareilles are doing it for the money.
Probably not.
No, they're doing it because they're big theater nerds, and they.
Yeah, and we
they're
love them and
music
they love
people.
us, and they can sing.
Interesting. Yeah.
They can act.
They're fun together. They
Or is
announced it on Sarah's Twitter, on their both on their
On
they did
social
like
media.
a social media video. Yeah.
Yeah, and Josh Groban said he's a double threat, which I thought was adorable. Anyway, that's what's happening. The Tonys are June 10th
Are they?
at 8 o'clock.
The nominations come out when?
May 1st at 8:30 in the morning.
2 weeks, people.
2 weeks, not even, less than that.
And it's still winter weather. Thanks, Frozen.
boom, boom, boom. How about Labyrinth? You remember that movie?
How about it?
How about it?
I
Paul?
never got through it.
They're getting the musical.
I'm being honest. I never got through it as a kid.
I don't know what it is.
It's a Jim Henson. Beth was very highbrow as a child. She just watched Sunny in the Park with George.
Correct.
That was it.
That's right.
But other kids watched things like Labyrinth, which was
Other kids.
Other
it was
kids.
a Jim Henson thing, and David Bowie was in it, which is why in the last year, I mean, after David Bowie died, a lot of people were talking about Labyrinth. And it is being made into a musical, maybe? A musical, not a movie musical. Brian Henson, chairman of the Jim Henson Company and son of the late great director Jim Henson, revealed that there's an in-the-works musical, and that's all we know.
Sounds great.
Yeah,
I'm
and the
there.
movie is being re-released in theaters, I guess, so you can, probably because of David Bowie, so you can go see it
And you can
then
get through
figure
it.
out what the musical is going to be like. But I don't think it'll be puppets. Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe it is
man,
puppets.
I don't know. I feel like there will be.
Oh, it's puppets?
Yeah.
Can they do Fraggle Rock instead?
Yeah. So
Very
we
serious
knew that Choir Boy was coming to Broadway. We knew
did.
that at some point, but we didn't know the casting. But now we got that today, Beth.
Right. This is part of the Manhattan Theater Club season. It's Tarell, Alvin, Mccraney, who, of course, won an Oscar for Moonlight after a little shuffle with the envelopes. This is his return. This is his Broadway debut. This was done off-Broadway, and here is the cast. Are you ready, Paul?
I can't wait.
I'm going to read it for the first time because I don't know who's in the cast. Let's find out. Jeremy Pope,
Who I love.
Tony winner Chuck Cooper, who we all love, a Tony nominee Austin Pendleton, and they will return to their roles. And Trip Coleman is helming. That's hard to say. Try it at home. And yeah, this is December 27th, 2018, and it will go next winter. So that's pretty cool.
December 27th.
Yeah,
So they're
next
going to be
fall.
in tech on Christmas?
Yeah, wait a minute. What?
Maybe they'll
Do
give them
they
a day
get
off.
Christmas off?
I don't know. Let's call Lynn Meadow and ask her.
And you know, did you see View Upstairs? Did you end up seeing View Upstairs? The View Upstairs, the
Did I
off
see
Broadway.
what?
The View Upstairs, that off Broadway show.
Yes.
That Jeremy Pope was the star of that.
Oh, yeah, he's
Yeah.
fabulous.
Last but not least, we found out yesterday the Heathers. Love that show. It's going to the UK. Paul.
Do you love it?
I am. I saw it like 4 times.
Wow.
I
okay.
wasn't even living in New York yet, and I
It
saw
was great. It was at New World Stages
Yes, it was.
in
Yes.
New York.
Starring.
A lot of people thought it should be on Broadway.
Yes.
Barrett
that's true.
Wilbur
Barrett Wilbur
Weed.
Yeah,
It
yeah, totally. And so they're going to do it at the other Palace Theater, which is a cool. They do a lot of American shows there.
They do.
We saw the Life there.
No, we didn't. We saw the
that's
live
where they
at
did
the
Wild
Southern
Party.
Playhouse. They did. Yes, this is owned by Angela Weber, and it used
that?
to be called the St. James Theater. Now it's called the Other Palace because it's near Buckingham Palace, and they're cheeky because they're in London. It's like
Beth
it's
is
like
up on the
300
inside
seats.
London jokes.
It's like 300 seats. Yeah, but Heather's is going there.
Yeah, they're doing it this summer, starting August 4th. Carrie Hope Fletcher, West End alum, will be playing Veronica Sawyer. Andy Fickman, who directed it off Broadway, is
Matt,
directing
book
it
your
there.
tickets for
And,
London.
I'm ready.
That's cool.
It's cool. It's
Yeah.
Heather's.
Yeah, it's cool that they're doing it there, and there's a real fan base for this show.
9 weeks only.
And I'm always wondering if it'll come back to New York.
I hope
Should.
so.
It should.
Can
It's a
they
great show.
do like a bunch of these musicals all on the same set in Rep?
Oh yeah.
These
What-
high school
They
shows.
also could make it a movie. They also could do that. They also could
It
turn
was
it
a
into
movie.
a movie
I
musical.
like a movie musical. Well, they
That's
they
it
made
was
their,
a movie.
like Disney turned
saw
Freaky
that one.
Friday. Like Freaky Friday was a musical, but then they're like, you know what? Let's just make it a movie musical.
That's a good piece of musical theater. Fun fact.
Minutia.
Yeah. Anyway,
Trivia.
Long day.
Listen, like I said, it's a 2-show day. Matt,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Paul,
get out of here
thank you,
because
and good night.
Bobby Creighton's a better tap dancer than me, and he
and
deserves
everyone in
this
this
seat.
room.
Maybe he'll tap dance on the table. Probably not.
No, he's not going to do that.
the
Matt,
height
tell
like
us
in
about Mr. Creighton, will you?
I would love to. Ahem. This is a good bio. From a very early age, Robert Creighton pictures himself most often as a goaltender for the NHL's Toronto Maple Leafs. It's on your website. His sporting dreams coexisted with the ones of someday dancing like Fred Astaire and being an actor on Broadway, and in 2003 made his Broadway debut in Laughing Room Only, which began a series of Broadway bookings including Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, The Little Mermaid, Lion King, Chicago, and Anything Goes. He's appeared on television in Law & Order and Life on Mars, just to name a few. His voiceover work includes spots for the likes of AT&T and Verizon, competition there, and the animated film Tangled, again, just to name a few. Most notably, he conceived, co-authored, and starred in the off-Broadway smash hit Cagney. And now he's hanging out in Arendelle 8 times a week in Disney's Frozen, and that's what he's here to talk about today. If you have questions for Robert Creighton, and I know that you do, leave them in the comment section below, and we'll get to as many as we possibly can. And now here is Beth and I want to say Bobby.
That's fine.
Okay, Beth and Bobby.
That sounds good.
Thank
right?
you,
That's
Matthew.
like a title of a show.
You know what
Beth
I
and
mean?
Bobby. Hey, we're here with Beth and Bobby.
I think so.
Bobby,
Hi, my
hi.
friend.
Oh, I love this guy. You know
I
what I
love
like?
you.
There are 2 things I like in this world. I like a good song and dance man, and I love a Canadian.
Yeah, come
And
on.
I got 2 of those things
That's
right next to me in one
Could have been a
person.
goalie in the NHL.
Could have
Could have
been a goalie.
Could have been a goalie.
I gave up that dream to
Hello.
do. Broadway was my fallback for security
Plan B.
purposes. Yeah, right.
Well, you now have the Disney trifecta.
Yeah, it's my third.
Your third Disney show. How are
Yep.
they treating you over there?
I love working for Disney.
Yeah.
I really do. They're right from the top. They like
care of their
actors.
peeps.
They do. It's great, and it's a great group of people they've assembled. Like it's really fun to go to work. I share a dressing room with Kevin DeLagula and Tim Hughes, and we just laugh the whole time.
That's
it's
a good
really
group.
fun going
That's
to
a
work.
fun group of guys.
Yeah, it's good.
So last time we talked at length.
We
You-
did. That
you-
was one of my favorite interviews. I did so many interviews during Cagney, like
Yeah.
dozens and dozens and dozens. And yours and mine together was a standout.
Oh, that
We
is
did
so
it at
sweet.
Bia or B, whatever they call
Yeah,
the
next
restaurant
door
next door.
to,
Yeah, it was so
to
fun.
the West Side Theater. But you were a redhead.
I know.
Because
Same
Cagney,
hairstyle,
James
different
Cagney
color.
is a redhead. You got to go back to brunette. What are you originally?
I'm more or
a
less.
lady never tells.
No, I'm yeah. Well, then I'm a nice lady because more or less I'm a brunette. And then when I started doing Cagney, we premiered. I don't know. 9 years ago, I dyed my hair red and it was coming back in, and before I dyed it, there was gray situation happening a little
Oh,
bit.
see.
So when it came back in, I kind of went, okay, well, let's not deal with the gray just yet. And so and then I've been back and forth literally like 6 times in the last.
And because when
chunk
you're
of
red,
years,
you're red
so
because you have to see it from the.
I'm
from
super
the
red,
audience.
and so now they wanted it dark
Because you're a bad guy
because
now.
I'm a bad guy.
You're a funny bad guy.
Yeah. I'm the
So
funny.
you're the
I'm
Duke
sort of the.
of Wesselton,
Thank you for saying it.
but that's not how they say it in the show.
No.
Most of the time, they could call you the Duke of what did they say?
Weaseltown.
Weaselton.
Yes.
Oh, that's so mean.
I saw you had John Riddle here last week, my buddy.
Yes.
We have so much. He's such a great guy, and well, spoiler, but he's the.
In case you haven't seen
he doesn't
Frozen.
look like a bad guy until
Right.
the end, right? But I'm sort of the obvious funny bad guy.
Right, because
yeah.
you have like the bad guy look. I was
Yeah,
thinking this.
totally.
You're kind of
mustache.
a little.
I have so
You
much
got,
gel
like,
in my hair.
spit
Literally
curls.
after the show, I just change where the part is and kind of go, zoop, and there it is.
Really? Is
Yeah.
that what? It's your hair.
It's all
it's
my
not
hair.
wait. It's like coming.
Yeah,
forward
I curl. It all curls it forward like
and
this.
a little.
Yeah,
So
it's
are your kids so thrilled that you're in Frozen?
Yeah.
How old are they now?
6. My son is 6. RJ and my daughter Sam is 4.
Perfect
and they,
Frozen age, right?
They want to come every night. Literally, they're like, "Oh, can we come?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And we could live in a cardboard box. But so they came the first preview. They saw it twice in Denver, and they're going to come. They won't watch this. They're going to come. I'm getting them tickets for Father's Day. It's a Sunday matinee. I mean, it's perfect.
That's really
to bring
nice.
I'm so excited. Actually, I'm going to pitch this right here. Kevin has a son, my dressing room mate, and I think we're the only two in the acting company who have. No, I mean, Casey
has a
does.
son, yeah.
Yeah, but he's
little.
little. But I think they should, say, hey, bring your kids on Father's Day. It should be bring your
Aw.
kids to the show day.
Bring your
I
kids
love that
to,
idea.
Yeah.
to work
I'm
on
gonna talk to somebody
Broadway
about that.
Day.
Yeah, so let's talk to some press
We're
people
gonna start
about
a
that.
new
Yeah,
holiday. What do you think?
I'm here.
So tell me what it's like to be in this show, because when you get to originate a role
Yeah.
on Broadway. I mean, of course, in the movie it was, I think, Alan Tudyk.
Yeah. Amazing.
I do my research. People.
Yes.
But this is
I wonder
really
if he's going to
originated.
come see it. I don't think he was there. I haven't met him, so.
I've met him. He's a redhead.
Yeah.
But that's just my theme today. But you get to really originate a role, and how does that feel for you?
Well, this one has been really fun because the director made it very clear, Michael Grandage made it very clear at the beginning, we're not doing the movie. We're
Yeah,
doing.
it is
I
very
mean,
different.
the movie already is iconic, It's
But if you're a movie fan, you are not disappointed.
No, I
That's
think
what's
it goes
that's-
beyond,
It's a
right? It's
wonderful
like a jumping
balance.
off point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he really gave us the freedom to. So I watched the movie. Watched it a lot. My kids were. I watched it a lot. Let's face it. And then, but I hadn't watched it in a
couldn't
while
get away
before
from
my
it.
audition. And then I watched it and sort of looked at it. And then I just went in and did my own, kind of like that. But I didn't do the movie character. I did the
Right,
scenes,
right.
And did it for real. And then I've been able to really just create a character that fits into the life of this show on a stage. And it's been really fun. I don't even think about how it was done in the movie.
Yeah, you don't need to.
And the role's been slightly expanded from the movie to the Broadway
Well,
show.
when you have
which
a
is great.
talented
So,
person like this,
But
I'm
that's
just
happy
saying.
making.
Yeah.
And the other 2 Disney shows I did, I
Which
didn't.
was
I mean,
Lion King and The Little Mermaid.
Lion King, I stood by the first time I did it in Toronto for Timon, Pumbaa, and Zazu.
Wow.
Oh,
I
wow.
did it in LA, but the time I did Timon on Broadway for
Mm-hmm.
a period of time, and but that was already done, right? So you're kind of going
Right,
into
you're
the
stepping
machine.
in.
Same with in Little Mermaid, I was in the original company, but I was understudying Scuttle and Chef Louis, and then I quit, and then they invited me back to take over Chef Louis.
These names,
Um,
people.
So, so that was fun. But this one is really fun because you own it, right? And you get
Yeah.
to, and the director was great. He just let me do my thing and would give a little nudge here and a nudge there. But it's
And what
been
a great company. Tell me about
Oh,
working
my
with
gosh.
these actors.
Well, you like a Canadian,
I like
Casey
the
Levy.
I'm just saying.
Canadian,
They're
I'm
so
just
nice,
saying.
the Canadians.
We are.
I
We genuinely
know.
are.
I'm not-
and it's
I'm
the
not-
hockey
I'm not being
playoffs
sarcastic.
right now. So
Yeah, so real.
I'm
They're
sure-
really nice unless you put a hockey stick in their hands.
Yeah, and then
they'll
they
knock
get
your teeth
mean.
out,
That's
yeah.
right. But Casey is Canadian and she plays Elsa, and Patty Murin, who plays Anna. I mean, you really couldn't ask for 2 better leaders of a company just by the way they do the work. They are so fully there. So Patty works harder than anyone in the show.
Yeah.
I mean, Casey does too vocally, but she's not on stage quite as much. But they both work so hard, but they are just in it and joyful at work and
It seems like a happy
amazing,
band of
and
actors.
it is. The ensemble gets killed in this show. I mean, they dance
Yeah,
so
you guys
much.
are all
and
over the
da-da-da.
place.
I don't.
No,
my
you-
mind's a
you
little.
just get to be a
This is
bad
my
guy.
gift after Cagney Act. That's what I say. It's like I come out, I shout a bit, do a funny scene, go back to my dressing room. It's
Take a
kind of
nap.
nice. Yeah,
It's all good.
But the company is so much fun. A lot of funny people, just off stage fun. So that part is fun. And yeah, and Casey and Patty at the helm. You really can. I mean, I've been lucky with a few people like that, like Sutton when we did Anything Goes.
Oh, yeah, of
that was
course.
really. She was such a hero.
Are these
to
your
me.
Anything
We're
Goes
pals.
socks that you're wearing today?
Oh, Funny you say
You
that.
didn't think I was not going to bring this up.
Yeah,
did
well,
you?
you said fancy socks, and they're. Can you see them on there? But
Oh, yeah.
So in rehearsal one day for Anything Goes, getting to know Joel Grey, and I was playing the purser and understudying him. We're sitting chatting, and I said, "You wore the best socks." And he said, "Oh yeah, I have a friend or fan or somebody who sends them to him regularly."
Oh, that's a perk.
And the next day he came in with like 6 pairs of socks for me, still with the cardboard wrap, really
That's
nice socks,
generous.
and signed them to the great RC from JG. And I still have in my sock drawer all the cardboard wrappers with
yeah.
the thing under the So when I have like a big audition, I wear a Joel
Yours
Grey
told him-
sock and just
yeah.
for fun. He's been very nice to me, so we're pals.
That
now.
is a great showbiz
Yeah,
story
yeah.
right there. I know that we have a lot of questions because there are tons of Frozen fans, but I want to ask you about Cagney because it is a great show. And there's a cast album, and
Yeah.
there's tap dancing on that cast album. But
Proud of that
you
cast
brought
album.
it to L.A.?
Yeah, we did it in L.A. in the fall at the
how was
El
that?
Portal Theater in North Hollywood. It was amazing. It was so fun to do it where people are so tuned into the movie
To the
business,
movie stuff,
and there's
yeah.
so much movie history in there, and the story of this guy who really a lot of young people might. Hey, this is homework for people who don't know James Cagney. Go watch Yankee Doodle Dandy,
Oh, yeah.
Angels with Dirty Faces, White Heat. Oh my gosh, the list goes on. The Roaring Twenties, that's one of my favorites. But anyway, all these old Hollywood movie people came out of the woodwork to see the show.
that's
Met the
amazing.
most fascinating people who had worked with him, and
Really, co-stars, real Cagney co-stars. Or
yeah, people who were like
players.
dancers in a movie that he was in
That's
or something like
amazing.
that. And they're very elderly at this point.
I'm sure.
But they were very young at that time. And the woman I was staying with, who's become a dear friend, Kate Edelman Johnson, her father produced and wrote a dozen of Cagney's films.
That's amazing.
And so living in her house was like this awesome museum. And her friends are all like old Hollywood, like Stephanie Powers comes over for breakfast, and we're just hanging out having breakfast. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, heart to heart. My family watches it every week, and I'm like, there you are, and now we're friends. And just
So Cagney's not dead. It's just
No, it's
taking a
not.
break while Frozen's
we
happening.
were there was a tour about to be almost announced, really. That was fully in the works, and we've got a new plan now. And good things are happening. So I'm not going to just discuss all of it right now, but it really is a serious on a new sort of course.
But for now, you're a brunette with a mustache.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going to
I
call you
won't
the
mind
Duke of
going back
Weaseltown.
to being a redhead, but for now I am the Duke.
The Duke.
Yeah.
All right, we have your questions. We know
Okay.
you have questions. So
Oh,
we're gonna get to that.
yes. All right, let's start off with an easy one. Elise wants to know, what's your favorite Disney song?
Oh, that's hard. You
Of
said that's
all
easy.
time? Wow. That is a tough question. My favorite Disney song. The one I sang recently that I've never sung, and I is "Proud of Your Boy." I'm not going to call that my favorite Disney song, but
Surprising.
although it's a
answer.
brilliant song.
Yeah,
now
it
I'm
is.
making it so amazing. So that's a little more contemporary.
From Aladdin, everyone.
Aladdin. But I sang it in a concert, and it's just, you don't have to do anything. It's so emotionally
there.
powerful, and everyone can relate to wanting to please your parents and whatnot. And it's a great song for a tenor. It's an amazing song to sing. It's just got all the money notes at the end. So that's the first thing that came to my mind. But I grew up singing Disney songs, so
Oh, yeah.
there's lots of goodies in there.
David says, you've done so many Disney shows. Which Disney villain, male or female, would you want to portray next?
Ursula would be
I
fun.
knew you were going to say Ursula.
How'd you know? That'd be fun,
don't
though, as a
know. I
character
just can
guy.
just
How
see
fun
you.
Right?
would that be?
I'm into that.
I think John Tracy Egan did it somewhere.
Oh,
didn't he?
really?
I think someone did
I
it.
feel like they've done it for sure.
Yeah.
They definitely have had men
That
do
makes
it.
sense.
Oh gosh, is Captain Hook?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if they count that as,
As a villain?
no, it's Disney.
Is it Disney?
No,
I think Peter
I
Pan is
don't
Disney,
know.
isn't it?
I don't know.
You can
I
have
don't
a,
know.
for me
could
to
But
you have a
I'll
di-
take it.
Like a diminutive Captain Hook.
Yeah.
Like, that would be fun.
I'm into
I
that.
can see you tap dancing in.
Yeah, they could add a whole tap number. That's a good idea.
Sanford says, as an official member of the Disney family, how many times have you been in Disney World, and what's your favorite ride?
Oh, wow.
Not very often. I went when I was, my mother was 7 months pregnant, so I didn't see much. I was in her tummy, and I'm the youngest of 6 kids. They took the whole family and me with my pregnant mother.
And
That's
your
the first
favorite
one.
ride was
Yes,
sitting
and my
down
favorite
on a
ride-
bench.
That's right, the plane ride. I've done performed on a few Disney cruises just on my own, and a couple times I've gone and gotten to stay at the parks beforehand. The water ones are always my favorite.
I like those.
I like the water
The
stuff.
water parks?
Yeah.
Joanne said, Edwin Drood was so much fun. Do you
Mm.
ever miss doing a show that varied by performance?
Because the audience participated.
Well, every show varies by performance in its own way
Yeah.
because it's, you're talking to real people and you're a real person. So I mean, especially playing the Duke of Wesselton, I do that opening scene. I have various variations of that opening scene, all within the realm of.
But you
thrill,
know
it's-
how it ends.
Yeah.
Where in Drood.
And Drood was a spectacular production, I thought. I mean, Cheetah Rivera,
Oh,
Will
my
Chase, and Stephanie J. Block, and
And
Jesse
Carl.
Mueller,
Yeah,
and Andy
right.
Carl. I mean, you're taking your bow and you're looking down the line going, how did I get here? This is great. And playing the, Durdles, the drunk, with the pot belly, the drunk guy. What's that you say, Bill? My blacked out teeth and everything. It was very enjoyable. And I loved it every night. And I was the guy who got to announce Durdles gets to announce the murderer.
Right.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah.
I would do this monologue, and the whole company would skitter along behind me over here, and then skitter like in a bunch, and there's Jim
Waiting.
Norton, famous British actor, going, and he used to try and make me laugh. He would like do this little skitter, and he's 80 years old.
Well, there you go.
And it was very challenging to keep a straight face during that. And Will Chase poking me in the back. It was terrible. I loved
These
those people.
people.
I loved that show.
Was there
That's-
one
that's
person
my
that was
whole
often
answer.
picked as the murderer?
Yes.
Was it? Yeah. Oh.
The lovers were most often Cheetah and my son, Nick.
Yes, I
Jr.,
think that happened when I
or
saw it.
or Cheetah and me. So we were most often the lovers, which was fun. And then I kept a running total of everything in the back
Oh,
of the
you
little
did?
journal.
That's
Yeah,
great.
it was really fun. So I would give people like the totals of who'd been picked. I think Jesse Mueller was most often the killer. I'm
Poor
trying to
Jesse
remember.
Mueller.
And with her accent and
Yes, the
everything.
whole
Oh
thing.
my God. But look at all
Amazing.
those people are like everybody.
They're all working.
I mean, the Tony people already had their Tony, but now everybody else, Stephanie and Jesse and Eve,
Yeah,
they've all
that's
like
true.
blown up into these Tony Award people, and it's really.
And Cheetah's now has an award named after her. So
Yeah, I know,
things
it's amazing.
change.
This question always gets asked. George wants to know, do you got a dream role?
The one I've been thinking about recently is playing the King in Hamilton. Someone mentioned it.
Oh, yeah, you could do that.
Someone
like-
mentioned it to me, and
so
I was
quick.
like, yeah, oh my God, that would be so fun. Anyway, my dream role is Cyrano de Bergerac. I'll
Okay,
probably never do it. I'll have to
take
go
it.
do a TV series before and then come back and get cast. No one's going to cast me as Cyrano de Bergerac. But I love the language of it. I love the story. The movie that Gerard Depardieu did, I saw it when I was in acting school at the Angelica Film Festival. I lived on the Upper West Side. I saw the movie, and I literally walked home in a stupor. I was like, man, I want
From the Angelica to the Upper West Side is quite far,
yeah, it's
ladies
like
and gentlemen.
miles. And I want to be an actor so bad. It just moved. It really moved me. And so, and the play, I've read the play many, many times, and I would like to play Cyrano de Bergerac.
He doesn't tap dance though.
That's okay.
Maybe he will in this production.
Yeah, I need
Yeah,
to see
that's
you
right.
do all. Pull out all your stops. That's what I want to see.
Double threat. I'm a,
Yeah,
yeah.
double threat.
Elise wants to know, any tips
Hi,
for
Elise.
someone who dreams of being on Broadway someday?
Yeah, the biggest tip I give to young people who want to be on Broadway is establish a foundation
Yeah.
of training.
Yeah.
That's how you build a career. You build it really strong, like a big, wide foundation of training. If you want to be on Broadway and musicals especially, you have to learn how to sing really well. You have to learn how to dance, and you learn how. And most importantly, you have to not neglect being a good actor, because
Yeah.
the ones who build a career over the long haul can do all those things, and you get trained and build this foundation, and then you just take opportunities and get experience and work your way here and up, and that's how it goes. But you have to get trained properly.
Training is where it's at.
Yeah.
This is an interesting last question. I don't know if anyone's ever asked this before.
Oh.
Oh,
What piece of advice are you glad you never followed?
bad advice. That's what we want.
Well,
Or advice you didn't take.
some people. That's good. That's a great question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, some people say, do everything. Do everything you're asked to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that works to a point. And I think there's a point where if you want to, like, this is kind of a, well, what the heck. In 2008, when I was doing Little Mermaid, I made a personal choice that I didn't really want to understudy anymore. Like, for me personally, it's a great and noble thing.
Yeah.
But for me, I just wanted to go and I wanted to be more part of telling the story. And that was really just by making that mental shift and having meeting with my agent saying this is the kind of things we want to be doing. It changed the whole way my career has gone since then.
Because you made the decision.
Because I made a choice that, yeah, so when I think you're starting out, I think, yes, do everything. And then I think if you really, you have to decide what you want and then do the things that serve that mission, you know? And for some people it is like, you know, we have the most supreme dancers in our show,
Oh, yeah.
right? And they are at the height of their game in the best possible place they could be to dance in a Broadway show like that, you know? And but I wasn't a supreme dancer, right? That wasn't my thing. And I'm not, I love to sing, but I'm not the best singer in the world, but I knew what I wanted to do and made that choice. And then as a result, it sort of has flowed from there in a really exciting and way that I'm very grateful for.
You're the best.
That
was good.
That was great.
That was good advice.
No, I'm so
That's the
into that.
advice you
Okay.
want to take.
Yeah.
Just
You got to
saying.
decide what you want.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Well,
This is
Mr.
fun.
Creighton,
Thanks for chatting
you
with me.
are a delight. As always, please go see him in Frozen.
Yeah,
I know
Frozen.
you're already booked. I know you're already going to go see it. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
Matt,
Yes.
will you take us out?
I would be
please?
happy to. You guys know the deal. We do this live every single weekday at 5 p.m. here on Broadway.com's Facebook page. And then it goes on YouTube, and then it goes on our site, and it goes on TV and all those places. And if you like podcasts, we release this as a podcast every single day afterwards. So subscribe to the Live at 5 podcast. It's only one. We'll see you tomorrow when Phoenix Best from Dear Evan Hansen joins us in the studio for Live at 5. Happy Hump Day, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye.